Hello, hello, hello once again. Good people, incredible greetings. Incredible greetings, everyone. Welcome into the room. If you're watching the playback of this, because for those live folk, I haven't seen notification yet. So I know that we may not have too many people. Okay, there we go. I'm starting to see the viewers come in. So hello, and welcome to those who are watching us live, or if you are watching the playback of this, welcome into the room. Thank you for hopping on from the ATL. Oh, I just realized my normal comment didn't pop up this time. I wonder why that is. Oh, I think is that a comment that pops up? Yeah. I wonder why this didn't show up on my live feed. Okay. Let's see here. Edit audience, public, save. Oh, there it is. Now it popped up. It took a minute for the Facebook comments to pop up on my side. All right, there we go. All right, so let's go ahead and get this all shared out. I got my charger. If you were on earlier, I was talking about, not having my charger because of little people that live in my house. But I do have a charger this time.
Is Cloud, who played Fez Korea star.
All right. All right, let's see. Yes, I have my charger so I can stay fully charged over on the Tickety Talk. Hey again. Thank you for hopping on. Hi, Danny, Kiki, do you love me? Are you? Valerie, thank you for hopping on. Hey, Miss Karen. Long Island in the building. Welcome. All right. I'm going to put this back up here because I need to share this out. All right. I'm going to keep this, what's this thing called? This caption real short. So share group. I think oh no, wait, you know what? I won't be able to do one later tonight. I have to do my mom's hair. I don't know. I think I'm going to try to do a later live video. So I'm going to save my at everyone for a little bit later. because I'm going to try after I finish my mom's hair and the kids go to bed. Because sometimes, I do like my class at like 6:30. Some people are still winding down, and then there's a lot of people that watch from other time zones. So if I'm able to do like a 10 o'clock live video tonight, that'll put me in a position where people from more time zones will be like home and not at work. So I think I'm going to hold off on my at everyone and my at followers. Okay, let's see. Where are we? Where were we? Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for tapping in from Atlanta. And somebody else from Atlanta. Hello, hello. Yes, we do. But I'm doing my mom's hair afterwards. So she's coming after work. I'm going to braid her down and then we'll have class. And then I will be doing her hair after class. But our class is at 6:30. That's what I'm saying, like a later class, because I'm normally doing classes at 6:30. I'll try and do my live videos at that time so that I'm done before like bedtime, dinner time. So I'll braid her hair down, do my class, finish her hair, and put the children to bed, and then try and do like a 10 o'clock live video after Zion Imani is asleep. So thank you for dropping the peacocks. Yes, tonight we are talking about, are you ready for an e-commerce website? That is the discussion for tonight in the Creative Lounge. I'll pose that question to you guys. Who here is already using some sort of e-commerce website, like some type of e-commerce site? Put a 1 in the chat if you are currently using some sort of e-commerce site, and put a 2 in the chat if you are not currently using one, but you have been strongly considering it. All right, so I'll just get right into it because it is 1:48. At the most, y'all have me for a good 45 minutes to an hour because I got to go pick up that little person that thinks he runs my household, the 6-year-old. Yeah, I got to go pick him up. So y'all have me for at least 45 minutes. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into it, get the introductions out of the way. Hello, everyone. I am Shakia Lavelle, also known as Shakia, the professor of HS Inc. 365, home of Silaholics Anonymous. That is the platform that I have been teaching you guys how to master using the free program, Silhouette Studio, for your crafting needs. It doesn't have to be a replacement for anything, which we're going to talk about that. Doesn't have to be a replacement, and I need to figure out a better way for y'all because I really end up missing y'all comments over here because y'all to the side. But I have been teaching Silhouette Studio for nearly 10 years. I was introduced to it 11 years ago, and I've been teaching it ever since because it's amazing. Like, I am an Adobe girl for Photoshop, Illustrator, and Corel Draw, and to find that program and just kind of have a little bit of each of those programs was absolutely amazing to me. So I've been teaching it because it's a great way. If you are a creative, if you are a DIMer, do it myself type of person, it's good for like sizing and printing and like just also creating things. And it's absolutely free to use the base program, and you can do a lot with it. If you get the upgraded version, it does allow you to open up additional file types to start with, designs, and we don't have to do so much tracing. And then the highest version of it allows you to save your files in different file formats so that you can take it outside of the program, which you can't really do that with the other, like its counterpart, which is Cricut Design Space. You can't really do that with that program, take it outside of Cricut, but you can with Silhouette Studio. So I've been teaching that for nearly 10 years now. We are also the home of the Honestly Speaking brand of products. We carry the absolute best sublimation ink and paper that allows you to create amazing results like this in 30 seconds, mugs like this. Now, this one does take, it's ceramic. So in the oven, this takes about 6 to 8 minutes to create this in an oven. But we've done like rags and shirts. Today I'm actually not wearing one of our, I'm wearing something that I have made when I come on the live videos, but today I am not. Ooh, look. Let me grab. Ooh. Here's a rag. This was done in 30 seconds. I know it's messed up at the bottom, but that was my fault. 30 seconds. Even though it's just a color chart, still, you can see the vibrant colors in just 30 seconds. Okay. So you can accomplish that with our amazing, incredible products. Our brand is called Honestly Speaking. It's pronounced speaking, but we do have a little play on words. Ooh. Oh, those are some good actual examples in the back. But it's a play on words. So we have ink in the middle. So we sell the sublimation paper, sublimation ink, and we also have pigment ink. We do free live. Oh, I didn't realize you could see my Wendy's back there. That was my lunch. Tutorials. I've been doing them free. You can catch most of the playbacks on our YouTube and some on our Facebook page. This is one that we did day before yesterday. That wasn't yesterday. It was day before yesterday. We did some mixed media. So this is sublimation. Press that 30 seconds. And then we added a rainbow, kind of like holographic type HTV to it that is like kind of color shifting. But the base of that is sublimation. And then we did this one. That is sublimation with a little bit of glitter. Wait, which side is it on? So we do tutorials and videos where I show you silhouette. That's kind of my main thing. Everything that we do or I do creatively kind of starts in that program. And it's a great starting point for just about anything. Like no matter if you're printing, if you're creating digital files, invitations, I created chip bags in that program. I've created all sorts of different things in Silhouette Studio. So you will see me do a lot of reference for Silhouette Studio and teaching that program. But I've shown some things with, which way? The Cameo machine. I have 7 of them now because I just added an additional Cameo 4 to the team. Although it's going to remain in the box, I don't have a need to open up that Cameo. It's okay to buy equipment for it to just be backup. If you guys didn't know that, I was kind of having fun earlier today, but that is one of the, I guess you would say, secrets, or just, I don't like to say secrets to success because it's not like that it's a secret, but that's one of the keys to success is if you have a business, always having a backup. If something happens to this Hottronics, I have another one. I also have another 16 by 20 clamshell with the pull-out tray. You always want to want to have a backup if you're doing this from a business perspective, because if something happens to your equipment, then you lose your ability to make money. If you were in the middle of an order, you don't want to have to issue refunds. So part of your profits and part of the money that you make and the revenue that you make, you should be reinvesting it into your business. Well, make sure that it's available to reinvest. If you had, like if your machine went out, your printer went out right now, do you have the funds to be able to go to the store and get a printer temporarily, be able to order a heat press and have it shipped to you, even if it's like, a little cheapy one until you can get a quality one and get it fixed. But having those resources available in your account is a key to success in business. Just having things in place, having systems in place, having resources in place, having a plan, and not just a concept of a plan, but an actual plan in place should something go wrong, so that we can keep this train moving for your business and keep the money flowing. So that's something that's really important. I have 6 of them. At one point, I out of the original 6, one of them was just for show and just for classes. Because if you know me is to know that I despise the 3. Cannot stand my Cameo 3. It is here strictly for teaching purposes only. But those original cameos, all 3 of them, baby, I put those suckers to work, okay? That Cameo 2, that is my favorite. I want a few more of those. I need to find a few more of those. Now, those I put to work. I would work those bad boys at the same time. Oh, wait, no. So now this is 6. I have 3 originals, a 2, a 3. No, okay, no, that was 5. No, I had 6. I had 3 originals. I have a 2, a 3, and a 4. I just added another 4 because I could not pass it up. I'm not saying that you're going to be able to find it everywhere. Even if I show you like receipt, doesn't mean that your Walmart will honor it. It's just that our Walmart had one in there and they were selling it for $97. So I scooped that bad boy up. I need for them to go down. Thank you in advance for anyone that says, bless you. I need to go and need to go in there and keep stalking them to see if they will ever drop the cost of the couple of portraits that they have, because I do want a couple of portraits in my arsenal. More so for teaching purposes. We have a challenge coming up in November where I'm going through how to actually utilize the machines and how this over here is upsetting me. Okay. I forgot I put that back there, but I keep seeing it. So I got to move that sucker. But we have a challenge coming up, or a class, or I don't, however you want, whatever word is your buzzword to get in the room to learn about some things that you have not been able to quite figure out on your own. And if you want somebody that really knows the ins and outs, the good, the bad, the ugly, to be on the lookout for, then my class is where you want to be. And yeah, we have that coming up in November. So I do want to get a portrait because I'm pretty sure there will be people that will join the class that's going to have a portrait. I probably won't use that on a regular, but there are benefits to having it. I have a lot of students who are into sticker making and they don't do anything really, really large, and they live by their portrait machines. One of my good friends, she has a sticker business for planner stickers, and she has like 7, 8 just portraits, and that's it. There was one company, they had like 11 of them. With the business edition, you can cut to multiple machines at one time. So, I mean, having a bunch of them, there's a lot of businesses that have a bunch of, they literally operate off of portraits and even some cameos. So on the business side, there is money to be made in knowing how to utilize these machines. Just have to identify what you want to use it for. But we do teach the machines. I don't show them as often anymore because I do more teaching than I do like the craft side, because y'all demand too much of my time. And the most important part is the design. So I do spend a lot of time on that and answering questions about printers. Like, that's also what I'm known for, is being that go-to person to help you troubleshoot your printers and just understand your printers and how they work, deciding which printer is going to be the best one for you. Like, that's my superpower. That's where I truly come in to help you guys at. I never, promote that I'm going to help you make all the money in the world. But if you want to be able to make ends meet, if you want to be able to contribute to the down payment of your home like we did and pay for your car, you want to just be able to pay your regular bills. It doesn't have to be, all of the luxuries, but, you need someone to help you pay the bills, make ends meet. Now that I can help you with, okay? And that's what I specialize. I do this for that because I know there's a lot of people that they want to do this, maybe not as a business, but as a profitable side hustle that can help them make ends meet. And on that note, like that, when it comes to that, I can help you with that. Okay. I do these live sessions as a service to my community and to the crafters at large, creators at large, business owners at large, who are just starting out, who just needs a little bit of information. You don't know any, I've been waiting sometimes for those questions about sole proprietor, LLC, and marketing, and y'all never ask me that. So I don't know why. I've told y'all can ask those questions, but I do this as a way to just kind of answer your questions, help you where you need help at in your business, depending on where you're at. Everybody here is not on the same level. I have people who are starting from like day one. I saw this, it looks interesting. I got some anxiety, I'm dealing with some things. I need an outlet. I want to be able to do this. It looks fun, looks like it's up my alley. All the way to those where I've had my machines for a really long time. I've been somewhat successful in it, but I want to do more. We service everyone. So, whatever questions you have, I am more than happy to help you and answer those questions. I talked about the fact that we do have a session tonight where we're going to discuss, like, this is in a paid membership, which is called the Creative Lounge on our website. We're talking tonight about, are you even ready for an e-commerce? I know people talk about it, and we tend to think that, oh, if we have a website, our business is going to blow up, it's going to make our life easier. But do you really understand the benefit of having an e-commerce site? The downsides of having, like, the pros and the cons. I am definitely a person. If you are that, I only want positive vibes only. I want people who are motivating and encouraging and don't talk about the bad stuff. I'm definitely not the person to follow, because I give both sides of the coin. I give the good, the bad, the you should know this, type stuff. So I'm not just going to give you sunshines and rainbows over here. Okay. And some people really are not ready. Like, the truth of the matter is, you may not be ready for it. You may need to stay in the pocket of being organized, having systems in place, but you're still doing like manual orders, taking manual payments. An e-commerce site is not for everyone. There are some benefits to it, especially like depending on which website you choose. Being able to have access to things like Shopify Capital, PayPal Capital, Sezzle Capital, and things like that, because you have so many sales coming in to help you grow. Like, there can be benefits on the back end of it, but not everybody is ready for that responsibility and putting in the work to drive traffic. But there are ways that you can still maximize your business and be very efficient in what you do. But we're gonna, like, tonight's discussion in our Creative Lounge is really helping you realize, like, is it time, if you don't have one already, is it time for you to get, an e-commerce site? Is that going to help you in your business? So if you're interested in joining in on that conversation, you can always visit our website, learn.365creativeacademy.com. Go to all courses, find the Creative Lounge. That session alone will be worth the month, the enrollment fee for the month, which is $36.50. Okay. So the question that I asked was, who currently has some sort of e-commerce site? Put a 1. And if you don't have one, but you are strongly considering your options for e-commerce sites, put a 2. So there was one, and then there was a lot of 2s. Okay. Had one, but let it go. My favorite is the Cameo, my favorite Cameo is the 3. So it just shows some people like it. I despise my 3. Thank you. I'm really thinking about getting the Cameo 5. Which feature on the Cameo 5 most intrigues you? What makes you want to get it? What do you feel like it will improve anything that you're doing now by getting it? You know what? Thank you so much for that, Valerie. I'm going to let that comment sit there for a minute. Which silhouette portrait would I recommend? Well, the ones they have in the store are the 3, which is the one before the one now. Now they have a 4. They like, to be honest, all of these machines work the same. There's really no major difference. The difference between the 1 and the 2 was manual buttons, right? Just like the Cameo one, it just had manual buttons on it. That's what the 1 had. And then the 2 had, I think the 2 still had manual buttons, but it was, yeah, it did. Well, I think all of them have manual buttons, but what was the difference in the Portrait 2? Oh, wait, the Portrait 2 was like the Cameo 3. That's when you got the auto blade for the 2. Then the Portrait 3 came out with the Cameo 4, and it has the new type of auto blade that has the magnet on the back. And then the Portrait 4 is similar to the Cameo 5. Yeah, that's the differences in those, because you can use the electrostatic matte with the Portrait 4. So they're all really the same. I never use the auto blade, so that part for me is like, I mean, they all operate the same way. They're gonna print and cut the same side, which is 9 inches wide. The blades, technically, the auto blade, the manual blade, the black one, the fabric blade, the original auto blade that was the round barrel, and the new auto blade with the magnet on the back for the Portrait 3 and the Cameo 4 and the Cameo 4 and the Cameo 5. They are literally the same quality blade. You're not getting a better cut. You're not getting a better blade by upgrading the machines. They are literally all the same. So if you can find one on Marketplace and it's the original, only difference is it has rubber wheels instead of spring wheels. That's it. Y'all are so silly. So you have one already, considering it. The new matte for vinyl. The new matte, or do you mean a new matte for vinyl? I know they have a new matte when you're not, when you want to cut matteless, the electrostatic matte. But what new matte for vinyl? Only one that I know of is the electrostatic matte, which is more so for paper crafts that you can cut through and not have to worry about the sticky. Is that the matte that you're referring to? Hello, hello, hello over here, over on TikTok. Double tap the screen. Let us know where you're watching from. If you are a Cricut user, let us know. If you are a Silhouette user, whatever machine you use, printer you use, drop it in the chat. I like to know who's in the room and kind of like who I'm kind of like talking to. So what's the purpose of the portraits? It is literally the exact same thing as the Cameo. It's just a smaller footprint. So for those who don't need to cut 12 inches wide, print and cut, your print and cuts are basically limited to 8.5 by 11 inch paper. So whatever the whoever, I don't operate in those A numbers, A3, A4, A2, A1, letter, legal, tabloid, super B. That's how I read papers. Okay. But it's like up to 8.5 by 11 or one of those whoever's that's basically fits on a standard size sheet of paper. You can do those types of print and cuts. It's popular amongst those who do sticker sheets because normally it's like they can fit technically 2 on there, and when they're doing the sticker sheets for planners, it's like this big, and it'll have like a bunch of like either like checklist on it and like certain like little stickers. It'll have washi tape on it. It'll have date flags or month flags and stuff like that. So it was really, really popular amongst those who were making planner stickers and those who just want to do like small sticker sheets and not do the large sticker sheets. A lot of the sticker paper that you'll find it more like it's easier to find in like 8.5 by 11 inch size instead of, and not so much the 11 by 17 or even 8.5 by 14 size. So it's popular amongst those who just want to do sticker sheets and they don't need to have a large footprint like the Cameos, but it cuts the same way, cuts the exact same way. It operates from the exact same program. Yeah, so the electrostatic matte is more so advertised for adhesive than it is vinyl. Because if you're doing vinyl, you don't need a matte at all because you're going to do what's called kiss cut. So you don't need a matte. Silhouette has always, like, unlike Cricut, where you had to get the maker or the Joy, the newer Joy, to cut without a matte with the smart vinyl. Silhouette has, from day one, allowed you to cut without a matte when you're doing anything that has a backing to it, because you're going to do a kiss cut and it's going to stay on the backing. With the 4, they had a matless cutting where it will basically kind of put perforated lines in like strategic places so that it's staying attached to your paper and it doesn't fall out. And then once you pull it out, like once you unload it, you get to like pop those out. But the electrostatic mat allows you to kind of cut all the way through, but you do know you are limited in size when you are using the electrostatic mat. Silhouette user here. Mercy, I have both Cricut and Silhouette. And that's a good thing. It's okay to have both of them. You don't have to choose one or the over the other. They serve different purposes. I don't really feel a need to purchase a Cricut. One was gifted to me, like the newer ones. I had a Cricut before, but I had the cartridges. One was gifted to me, but it had something wrong with like the belt on it, and it just sounded horrible. It sounded like a crop plane. And I didn't have an interest in just like buying another one. But there are things that makes it user friendly, especially for just general crafters. A lot of people have started using them for business, but at the end of the day, like they were really made for crafters, something that's really plug and play and doesn't require a whole lot of like technical understanding, which is why it's slightly more popular than the Silhouette machine. But for those who want more freedom, more control, and plan to have, like, you know, you're going into this to build some sort of business, it gets you more prepared for the larger machines. If you went from tried to go from a Cricut to even a GravTech, you would be lost. But it's a lot easier to go from a Silhouette to a GravTech or a US cutter or a Roland, and you know, just cutters like that. So I have a Cricut Maker and the Workforce 7820. I had such high hopes for the Workforce 7820 because I love a good workforce printer. I love cartridge-based printers. I'm a big fan of Epson. The workforce printers use Pigment ink. I prefer Pigment ink because it is completely water resistant no matter what paper you're printing it on. But when it came out, it has the longer cartridges. It has the extra row of pinwheels. You can't use, there's no auto reset chips. You have to keep buying chips for it. So although I had high hopes for the 7820, 7840, and 7310, they've been quite a disappointment since they came out. Let's see. We have a Silhouette user over here. Let's see. Georgia, Cricut user. The Joy is similar to it because the portrait was here first. So no, the portrait is not similar to the Joy. The Joy is similar to the portrait. Let's get it. Let's be very clear. Okay. Okay. Who came first? Definitely was the portrait. But in a sense, yes, it is a smaller format printer with way more ability and features than the Joy. Okay, thank you. I don't think I need one of those unless someone wants. Yeah, like those you don't really need it. I mean, it's great for some people used it. At one point, you know, I used to see a lot of people with them, like if they went out on vacation. So as a cheer coach, I remember we went to nationals and there was someone out there with the cheer bows and they had different vinyls and they had one of the smaller machines, like they had the portrait. So it's really, you know, good for it's portable, right? And so they had the little portrait. And actually, that wasn't at nationals. I want to say that was at Orange Bowl competition. I think that was the one we had here. I don't think that was at nationals, and that may have been at both. But at one of those cheer competitions, they had the smaller one, and they would cut out like initials and stuff like that. And they would already have like pre-made bows. They would have at one of them, I remember they had like an iron, and then like when the the Cricut presses came out, they had that. Somebody had like a small format heat press at one of these events, and they would press like stars, or if your team had like paw prints, or your initials. So they would customize bows on site at cheer competitions, and to cut them out, they had the small portrait. So it's just a smaller portable machine. It's, not this big clunky thing back here. I have one of those cartridge-based Cricuts, but never really used it. Yeah, I had that one. I had the Cricut Cake one for a while, but that one I sold. I have the Silhouette and Epson 7620. Yeah, the old workforce printers are the better printers. She says, I'm sorry. Yes, look, I was here first. A Cricut 7710, a Canon MX 340. All right, so it's now 1:17, so we have a good 20-30 minutes left. I want to be able to help you guys. Whatever questions that you guys have for me, I want to be able to help you in your creative endeavors as it relates to like growing your business. So the floor is open, guys. As much as I can help, I'll help. All right, floor is open for any questions that you guys have for me. Hey, Seek. I just got the Sure Color F170 and trying to master it. If you are someone that's going from one of the converted printers, people always call them sublimation printers, but they're really not. They're conversions. They're meant to be used a different way. So the print settings are different. If you were going, their print settings are based off of you printing regular documents or printing out photos and things of that nature. So it has settings like photo, or it has things like premium presentation paper matte, because that's a specialty type of paper that's coated. When you end up going to a specialty printer like a F170, a F570, or any of their other sublimation printers, the settings are very different. So it does take a little getting used to figure out what's going to be the right setting for the paper that you are using. Silhouette user 4 life and 2 workforce 7720s, 1 for sub, the other one is Pigment, and protect them at all costs. They are amazing. There's no other printer like it at that price point. We came into the game at a really great time. Anyone that was around to be able to get like brand new in a box, a 7720, 7710, 7210, 7110, 7610, 7620, 7510, 7520, 3640, and 3660, or is it 3620? One of those, because that's the smaller format. We came in at an amazing time. When you had that 252, although the 750, 7510 and 7520 did not use 252s. They use 802s, I think. But if you had those 252 cartridges, what a time to be a crafter. What a time to be into printing. What a time to be into sublimation. There's no printer that's like that now. Now it costs you it costs you an arm, a leg, and three fingers to get into sublimation now at that print size. Tips for pressing vinyl on onesies. Go to Joann's, Hobby Lobby. Not something that's really sold in Michael's. You can find it in, like, if your Walmart has a section where they have like the fabrics and things. I've seen these, but they're not cut by the roll. They're in like pre-packaged like setups or whatever, but this one is cut by the roll. This is just a foam pad. Excuse me. Just foam. You can cover it with Teflon or other fabrics to make it a little bit easier to slide things around it. But this is going to raise that area. Because onesies have, it's like that double collar, like to be able to pull it off of them. And then you have the snaps and things on it. Even when it comes to sublimating, you want to have this so that those snaps will sink into the foam and just helps give you even pressure. So you can use, if you have just a regular size heat press, you want to be able to use a foam pad, or you get a heat press like I have, which is the Hottronics. You can also do it with the Galaxy one. There's another brand that has interchangeable platins. If you end up getting a platin that is smaller, or you can change it out. So even though my heating source is 16 by 20, they have much smaller platins where I would be able to drape that onesie over it, and none of the pressure points would be on the platin. And I would just press it. Yeah, I have all that extra heat, but it would just press in that one area. So if you have that type of heat press and you're going to do a lot of onesies, it would be a good investment to get one of those smaller platins. You can also use, which most people don't talk about, you can use a hat press. So if you have a hat press, especially like even the ones that have like the interchangeable platins, because you can drape that onesie over it and just kind of stay in that small area, a hat press is also great for onesies, even if it's just vinyl. I'm starting my business over. Where should I start? I need a logo and a website. I would not say that you need to unless, okay, here's the thing, right? When we say that we're starting over, is it that we have everything? Like we don't need to start from scratch with like figuring out what we're going to make, figuring out, do we have an audience that's there? Do we know the things that we want to do? Do we have some systems in place? And it's like, okay, I just want to start over and just have a website that people can come to. Because it's a little bit different, it just depends on what do you mean by starting over. Now, if it's like, okay, I was doing all this stuff, I had a website, I had another business name, now I don't want to deal with that business name, I want a new website, I have everything else in place, then when it comes to that, I would say getting a logo, you can attempt to make it yourself. Working with a professional is the better route. There's a lot of things before like just getting a website. If you want to protect your business, making sure that you have it structured correctly, choosing the right structure for your business, having a plan. So you can kind of come up with the name, start thinking about the logo. You can always secure the domain, but it doesn't mean that you have to then go and pay for a website, because even if you have a website, you still have to pay for your domain separately. So there are some things that, we can talk about in the Creative Lounge. You can always join us in the Creative Lounge. Go over to our website and enroll in that. We have discussions like this all the time where I can get more in depth for what your needs are to basically go ahead and get restarted. Like tonight. Tonight, we are talking about, are you ready for an e-commerce site? That might be a good conversation for you if you are able to enroll and join us at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. Oh, I meant to take that off the screen. I want to purchase an Epson Eco Tank with a print size of 13 by 19. There are several of them. Now, I'm going to start with my recommendation. Now, I don't know what your budget is like, but my recommendation would be an ET16600. That's $1,000 printer. That is the only one that I recommend. Now, if you don't care about certain things and you just want a printer that prints 13 by 19, whether it's for sublimation or for regular prints, you have the ET8550. ET8550. That printer retails, when not on sale, for about $800. It's a 6 color, but it's 2 blacks. One is a photo black, one is a dye back black. Then you have cyan, magenta, yellow, and gray, which is also dye-based inks. So you can use that one. It is a really great photo print. Like it's meant to give you quality photos. So you can, get that one. That one prints 13 by 19. And then you have the 15,000, which, that one's like what, $600 on the summation side and on the print side. I've heard horror stories about it. So I would never recommend a 15,000. Some people live by it, but I am someone where people come to me with the problems that they have. They come to me with the, can you help me troubleshoot this? What's wrong with my printer? It stopped printing. So I am seeing the number of people that have more issues with it. Now, when I go and say, oh, people have issues, yeah, we get the, oh, I use mine. It's wonderful. It's this, it's that. But trust and believe, there's a lot of people where you may not see it in the group. You'll see the person say, okay, I just got my new 15,000. You may see some of the cautions and they're like, okay, I'm having a problem with my printer. They don't really put the number. Someone has to ask for it. So unless you're going through those comments, you don't realize how many people have issues with it. But I mean, jamming your print, like it jams a lot with regular paper, sublimation paper. I get a lot of that. Like I have so many inboxes, so many emails, so many requests. Because our phone number is on our website, people even try, and I said try, to call us to have me troubleshoot. Like my name is Epson because they know they can't call Epson because they converted it. But a lot of people have issues with the 15,000. So I would never recommend it, but it is one that prints 13 by 19 and is an eco tank. The 8550, someone that I know and trust, she lives by it. She loves it. I think she has two of them. And then the 16600 or 16650 would be my recommendation. My Epson 7620 stopped printing from Silhouette. The paper gets stuck in the feeder. Is it only Silhouette that's happening from? Have you tried printing from different programs? Have you tried like just doing a copy and seeing if it still prints? Because it shouldn't be like it stopped printing just because you're printing from a certain program. So I just want to kind of understand that. I got my 7720 before the pandemic, brand new in a box. Yeah, they stopped manufacturing them before that, like right around that time. Hello, Professor. Since the old 7720 are not available for which, if I had, so again, recommendations, y'all have to understand what you are asking. So if you're asking for a recommendation, there is no printer that I can recommend that's going to be in the same price range of those printers that you had. There's printers that are sold in that price range. The new 7820, 7840 is within that 350, 400 range, but you cannot utilize them the same way that you did the old workforce printers. You have to constantly replace the chips and things of that nature. So they're not of the same caliber as the old workforces. I despise eco tanks to begin with, but the colors that you get from those, because the workforce printers were pigment ink printers, which is closer to the color profile or the makeup of sublimation printers. So that was a better option, right? Now you don't really have that option. So if you wanted to convert and you want an Epson printer, the only thing that I'm going to recommend is a 16600 or 16650. They are $1,000 and $1,100. Pick your poison. Or you can decide to save up, and if you need large format, the only Epson, like, well, the smallest larger format Epson printer would be the Epson F570. That is a true sublimation printer. You have to erase everything that you know about print settings because you're not going to see the plain paper, the premium matte, you're not going to see that on that printer. So if you decide to invest in that one, you need to clear your mind of all those settings because they're going to be different for that printer. So got to clear your mind of that if you want to go the F570 route or the $1,000 ET 16600 or 1100 16650. Those are my recommendations. We had 3 last week and they were amazing. She's like, I just got one and I hate it. I'm thinking of getting a large format 24-inch to make banners, foam board creations, etc. Any recommendations? For my like just regular 24-inch printer, I have the Canon TC20. If you want that, inbox me for the link if you decide to get it from A to Z. So I have that one. That is a 24-inch wide printer. I've never tried like the Epson ones. So I have no, and I didn't have a desire to get them because again, I didn't want to get the larger format Epson one with the cartridges because I don't think there is like replacement or third party cartridges for that particular one because they have one that looks just like the F570 but uses cartridges. And then when it came to their EcoTank one, I just wasn't down with Epson's EcoTank printers or like any tank based printer, so I just never looked into theirs. But then Canon came out with one and it's a pigment ink printer, so I'm like, I'm here for it. So that would be my recommendation as of right now. Like there's other printers out there, but as far as recommendations, the TC20 has done pretty good. And I know Javaya has one, but her cartridges, like the first one she had, the Canon, I can't think of the name, but those cartridges are expensive. I was actually about to get one of the Canon ones that had the cartridges, which would still be kind of pricey, but then I saw the TC20. So that's the one that I use for 24-inch ones, 24-inch prints. I've used that. But for foam board pieces and things like that, I use my Roland BN20. That's a $6,000 printer. It's a print and cut, meaning the actual printer itself prints and cuts. When you do the larger ones with the TC20, you're either going to have to hand cut it or have a large format cutter that does 24-inch print and cuts. Then the only one, if you want a real one, the only option is a F570. That printer is about either 2,200 and change or 2,500. It's somewhere in that range. I forget which one is 2,500, which one is 22 when it comes to the Epson. I want to actually know what. It might be 2,600 now because now it's called the F570 Pro because it comes with like a different type of program, like different type of Epson Edge. So I want to say the F570 is now $2,625 if I'm not mistaken, but that's the only one that's a tank base and a true sublimation printer. That's wide format. They have the F170, but that only prints 8.5 inches wide. Make sure I didn't miss anything over here. Okay, nope. What would be a good printer to convert? I don't believe in converting for DTF, so I'm not the person to ask for that. If you want to do DTF, invest in one that has been properly fitted, converted. I don't believe in conversions for DTF. Hello from the United Kingdom. Welcome in. Thank you. That's the one I'm leaning towards, the Canon. I will inbox you. Do that. Last call for questions. We got 8 minutes. Last couple of questions. We got about 8 minutes. What time is class tonight? Asking for those that are headed over to 365 Creative Academy to purchase the Creative Lounge. It is at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will have our discussion on, are you ready for an e-commerce site in the Creative Lounge? The TC20M has a scanner. That's not needed. Most of us, I mean, if you need a scanner, I mean, you'll get that one. But if you have any of the Epson printers, even my Canon Pixma has a scanner. So it makes no sense to pay that extra money. So the only difference between those two is a scanner. And it's a small format scanner at that. How would you cut the prints with the Canon? By hand. Or you can send, the print directly to the Canon from Silhouette Studio. So you would have to it's a little interesting in how you would have to set it up, like when it comes to print and cuts. And then, if you had the large font, like the 24-inch Cameo, and you can do that basically as a print and cut. If you had a Venture from Cricut, you would send that print to your Canon for it to put the registration marks on it. If you have a Caesar Romeo, you would send the print from the Caesar Romeo program with their registration marks on it so that you can cut it with the Romeo, or simply cut by hand. That's the way I prefer to do it. Like larger prints, if I did not have the Roland, whenever I got larger prints from companies, like I would outsource for my larger prints, I cut them all by hand, all of them. Some of my best events, and I mean, I had a lot of stuff. I had sea creatures like sea lions and whales and fish and turtles hanging from the ceiling, like it's supposed to be under the sea. The tables was full of them, and it was like little small fishes, and I had to cut anywhere from 50 to 75, maybe even more than that, like different types of fishes, big, small, and just sea creatures for a baby shower. I used to cut every character, every Elmo character, Mickey Mouse, like whatever it was. I mean, down to if it was like a theme party, like 70s, 80s, hip hop, I used to hand cut everything. Everything. Hand cutting is still an option. Yes, that's what I was actually referring. I mean, that's what I was talking about in the beginning. If you're going to convert, the only ones I'm going to recommend for sublimation is the 1600, 16650. It wasn't until you asked about a true one. Because when I was giving those numbers, I assumed that you were referring to a printer that you can convert. But I did also give you the ones that are true ones. But those are the only ones that I will ever recommend for converting for sublimation. And yes, you can use our Honestly Speaking ink to convert those. I promise the Creative Lounge is a great investment. After our session last week, I implemented what we learned and started creating my own digital guide for my business. The section on Etsy versus the standalone website has so much information, and tonight's going to be no different. We will actually really Saturday, because tonight we're going to just talk about, the identifiers of whether or not you're ready for an e-commerce site. And then on Saturday, we're going to go over a lot of e-commerce site, even if you're just selling digital products. Would you invest in a Silhouette? Would I need to invest in Silhouette if I have a Cricut? I mean, it depends on what you want to be able to do. I needed Silhouettes. Cricut could never tickle my fancy. You cannot do large print and cuts. And in the profession that I was in and doing a lot of decor and things like that, and DIY by a professional for events and doing large cutouts, Cricut could do nothing for me, nothing at all. So I needed the Silhouette Cameo machine in order to be able to do larger print and cuts. When I first started my larger print cuts, I was using a particular type of brand of 12 by 18 paper. Made my life so much easier. And I use 11 by 17 as well. When I want to do grad fans, I've always done large grad fans. I didn't do like the little cutesy ones. And Cricut could never meet my needs when it comes to that. Now, if you're referring to just a regular cut, then you could just use, your Cricut. I also did a lot of jobs when I was like really, really into that part of the business. I dedicate more time now to helping others gain the success that I had for many, many years. But when I was doing large window decals for businesses, when I was putting decals on vans and cars and trucks for businesses, you cannot cut without a mat on the older Cricuts that were out there. Now, you can do it with the newer Cricut one, but you have to use Cricut's Smart Vinyl, or you have to buy the 24-inch rolls of like Oracle vinyl or 3M vinyl, and you have to have that cut down to 13 inches. So you would end up, you'll have the rest of it. So you have to cut it down to 13, and then you'll have a smaller one. If you want to, well, then you couldn't use the smaller piece anyway on the Cricut. The Silhouette allows you, or the Cameo allows you to cut to an actual 12-inch piece. No, you can't go edge to edge, but if you wanted to go 10 feet long with a Cameo on the floor, no gravity, you could. You can't do that with the Cricut. So you just have to look and consider, what are your needs, and do you need to add a Cricut? Add a Silhouette. You don't have to replace it, because the Cricut could definitely, be the perfect fit for all of your smaller projects. But for anything print and cut wise, or needing to print without a mat for vinyl, you need a Silhouette or a Caesar Romeo, or Juliet, or you can get like a StarCraft Solo, you can get a GravTech, you can get a US cutter, anything other than a Cricut. Incredible afternoon, just jumped on. What's the difference in the Canon printers again? Sorry, the TC20 is just a regular printer. The TC20M has a scanner. Hello, Professor, and everyone in the chat checking in for Virginia. Do you have a roll paper that you would recommend for 24-inch printing? I do, but I don't share. Now, brands I no longer share here. There are some things where you got to be in the room. I'll give you a lot of this baseline information, but I spent a lot of money. If I was to go in there and show you like the rolls that's next to that, where I'm just trying out paper, I'm trying out adhesives, I spent a lot of money on it. Let's say people say, oh, well, give your affiliate link. People don't always go to affiliate links, and Amazon pays pennies. So for me to spend out hundreds of dollars in like specific brands and test them, see how they print, understanding the thickness of them, the pros and cons of them, I no longer provide that for free. I did want a real Epson printer, but price is kind of high, so I'm willing to convert a printer. So yeah, the 16600 $1,000 printers, and you can convert them. My recommendation, for a Silhouette machine, any of them, they all are the same. If you want to go to a marketplace and get the original one, a Cameo 2, a Cameo, I don't like the 3, but it still cuts. A Cameo 4, or if you want to get the new one, the only one that I will not recommend is the 24-inch printer. That's it. The Silhouette Pro is the one that I would, if you want a 24-inch, get a Caesar Romeo. I think my next investment will be a large format printer. I'll let you know when I'm ready, because I'll be wanting a Canon. Awesome. All right. On that note, it is time to go. As you can see across the screen, I teach this program inside and out. Although it's cool to be able to create designs like this, I'm not gonna say you can't, but it becomes easier when you learn the software. You get an understanding of exactly what is subtract, where is it, how does it work, what's compound path, how do I adjust my edit points, how do I trace, things like that. If you want to be better as a designer, just understanding the program, which it also helps you understand Photoshop better, Illustrator better. Like once you want to upgrade, it's really hard sometimes to go from something like Cricut Design Space or even Canva and go to an actual graphic designing software where there's more options and more like things like that you can customize, and it's not just apps. Canva is full of apps that kind of do a lot of the stuff for you. When you go into actual design softwares, it's a lot of manual manipulation. Silhouette Studio is like your gateway drug, gateway, it's your gateway to the more sophisticated programs. So I teach it in a way where I'm going to teach you like certain tools and functions, how they operate, how to take a line and make it into a highlight, how to fill with color, how to, how to crop, how to do certain things like that. Our Essential Silhouette Studio program was taught over 30 days. In the original one, you get access to those playbacks. We did a 13-week refresher. You get access to those playbacks. We had a 10-week review. You get access to those playbacks. So you have a lot of training that you can go through. You don't have to rush the process to learn. It's not going to be this learn it in a week. Learn it. People's like, oh, whatever. I learned it in a month. No, you didn't. You learned a few things. And then when you need to do something different than what you learned in those couple of weeks, you're up in groups talking about something. Oh, can somebody help me do this? Why won't this do that? Oh, I did this and it's not working. Our program helps you understand that program inside and out, especially if, you're getting into this, if you're within the ranges of, 18 to like 4, it's your brain is still able to kind of retain a lot of information because it is a lot. It's a great program to be a part of. If you just like, well, I'm not quite ready, but I want to be around like-minded people. I want to hear some good conversations. I want to hear some good topics that's going to help me in the immediate future, like actual steps I can take. Join our Creative Lounge in addition to our regular design programs. We also have classes dedicated to things like party favors, memorial designs, SVG designs, and things of that nature. So you can check out our website. Essentials of Silhouette Studio is on sale there's a discount available now because I just did a thing with SpongeBob, a training and a tracing or a sizing thing with SpongeBob. So that code is still valid. SpongeBob will get you 50% off. You can go to 365 Creative Academy. The links are in the description of the video. So learn.365creativeacademy.com. Look for Creative Lounge, and you can join in this evening on the topic of, are you ready for an e-commerce site? And then on Saturday, we're going to go over quite a few websites. Okay. Until next time. Oh, someone says I'll be there tonight. Awesome. How do I crop into a picture? I see that one a lot. Exactly. I don't think I want a large format summation printer yet. I don't sub enough for that. I have a large sub. I need a large regular one now. Okay. Yep. Time to go get the kiddo. Until next, I know I'm pushing the time. Until next time, guys, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity and be incredible. Hope to see you tonight. And I might be back before my mama comes because I really didn't get into my topic of the craft business playbook. So I might do a third live, which will be a fourth live, or I might save it for, I think I'm going to save it for tonight. Peace.